I've watched Ramayana and Mahabharata like several times, and every time I wonder, where are other countries? Did I miss something? I see India, which includes Bangladesh and Pakistan. I see Nepal, Sri Lanka, and some other countries, which was part of India, as you know today back then. But where are countries like America, for example? So to understand this, you got to know that America was not called America back then. And because it was a long time ago, we also probably won't be able to pinpoint certain cities and places. We might be talking not only about America, but as a whole. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Let's talk about Ramayana first, which basically is about the birth, the journey, and the death of Lord Rama. Okay, so he didn't actually die, he returned to his original avatar as Lord Vishnu. Anyway, there are some evidence which suggests that Ramayana happened around 9000 plus years ago, which means there was no America, as American history only dates back to around 500 years ago. But don't get upset. We're never going to talk about America, the name. Who cares about the name? We mean the land which America is on today. That must have been existed in the time of Ramayana also, right? Turns out it did. Let me start off by saying South America, as we know today, was called Patal Lok at that time. Okay, so don't get confused. If you have watched Ramayana or Mahabharata, you might know that Patal Lok in Ramayana or Mahabharata meant the land below the surface of earth. And as Ramayana mostly revolves around India, below the surface of earth here means below the surface of India. And if you dig a straight hole through India on any map, you'll get to South America. Now, you might call all this bullshit. So let's talk about some proof. The famous god King Mahabali, which people of Kerala still worships, was asked to donate 3 parts of land by the fifth avatar of Vishnu, Bhanama. The 3 parts of land being parts of Asia, Europe, and Africa now. After he fulfilled the wish of Lord Vanama was so impressed with Bali that he even gave him a boon of becoming next Indra. After that, Lord Vanama sent him to settle in Patal Lok for some time. So he starts shipping toward Patala or Patal Lok. Along his way, he met some people who were called Talatalak. Those people still reside in Mexico of South America. But of course, they are no longer called Talatalak. I mean, that's funny, right? Now, they are called Toltecs. Quite a drastic evolution of name. Huh? All this was described by Sugriv in Ramayana by Valmiki. So you might ask, how did Sugriv know all this? When did he travel through there? So if you have seen Ramayana, you would know that when Mata Sita was kidnapped by evil Ravan, Sugriv promised Lord Rama that he'll help find Mata Sita. So to search Mata Sita across the whole world, 4 group was formed to explore all the 4 directions of the world. While Sugriv couldn't find Mata Sita as he was leading men to search south direction of the world, and she was kept in Lanka, which was not in south direction, but he did explore the land of south, I mean America, Mexico, Canada and all, which Valmiki has described in Ramayana. Sugriv even came across Australia and New Zealand. Valmiki has described Sugriv crossing huge islands as they would see Mount Rishabha. Next to that, they would see Sundarsana Lake with beautiful lotus. It is assumed that Valmiki might be referring to Mount Cook and Lake Pukaki of New Zealand, which matches the description perfectly. He also gave many other spoilers of today Australia and New Zealand in Ramayana, but I think you get the idea, right? Alright, so there is many evidence in Mahabharata also, which could be America as you know today. Mahabharata happened around 5000 plus years ago, and at that time, India was ruling every country in the world. And talking about India or Bharat itself back then was a huge at that time. Who knows which country we know today was part of this massive nation back then. Only few countries present today were inhabited by human back then. Most countries like America was not even inhabited by human back then. But there are some hints like California we know today was large forest called Capillarnia back then. So for most part, America and other western countries at that time was just present in the form of rocks, lakes, river and forest. That's it for today guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it.